Okay, good morning. Today we are going to discuss how to make the transition from Caen codes, activity codes 2 to the Caen code revision 3. Mandatory and in function since 1 January. So what should you know before you update them? So easy does it. Complete the application at the trade register, specify the main object, secondary objects, and submit? No, actually it's much more than that. So the business in Romania is now preparing for a major shift in industry classification with the introduction of the NACE Revision 3. It's a harmonization towards Europe, and it also put a remedy to certain things that were not in the revision 2, and they added some new classes. But first, before we go to this, let's discuss and let's learn what are NACE codes. In Belgium, we make an acta and we describe activities, which actually is quite complicated if you have to convert it into codes. And then we activate VAT codes. In Europe, and this is better, activities are governed by NACE codes. So it's a classification, it's a nomenclature of economic activities. So instead of describing in a lot of words what you will do, you simply specify in your acta, in your acta constitutiva, what codes that you will use in your company. There is a primary code and then there are secondary codes. And also the upcoming NACE Revision 3, so the Caen Revision 3 in Romania, represents a significant update aimed at better reflecting the modern economy, including advancements in technology like AI, environmental sustainability, and emerging industries. What are the key changes in the Revision 3? Well, new classifications, revised definitions, streamlined codes, integration with the EU taxonomy, and every company gets a new certificate of immatriculari as some items changed on this certificate in a new format. You go for the NACE codes and you get automatically a new certificate, the immatriculari, where they put an ID, AU ID. Here it's RO, and then on RSF from register, G, 20, 25, and so on. Before, it was for Bouzo, like for Bouzo, it was G, Gece, slash, and so on. Now it is one number. Yeah. So the main things is that on the changing of the Caen, which is mandatory, immediately they issue afterwards, if the paperwork is okay, a new certificate, the immatriculari, that will replace the current certificate, and that carries two new codes. One is the EU ID, and the other one, the numero d'ordine in the registro commerciali, so the in-registration number in the Register of Commerce in Romania, which starts with a G 2020 from 2025 and so on, as you can see here. So let's dive further into the changes. One is renumbering and renaming. So some codes will retain their names but will be assigned new numbers, while others will have new names but keep the same numbers. So this is a dual change, yeah? Can lead to some confusion. Also, there are new classifications. Areas such as information technology, renewable energy, AI, e-commerce are expected to see significant updates to their classifications. This is designed to accommodate emergent sectors and innovative practices. Then, elimination of redundant codes. Certain codes may be removed or consolidated, streamlining the classification system and making it more relevant to the current market conditions. Yeah. So the register on national, so also in every province, big city, in the capital of the province, in these cities, they took some measures. Yeah. The register will not register any document anymore unless you update your Caen codes to revision 3. Example, we had a client where his mandate expired as administrator. We make the paperwork, yeah, and we try to register this paperwork, so the decision to prolong his mandate, and they say, no, we will not register, you have to do the Caen codes also. So then, in a hurry, we did the Caen codes, we went with the decision on the Caen codes and the decision to prolong the mandate, and then they registered, and as already told, they reissued the Certificate Immatriculare with the two practical codes, meaning the EU ID and the new format of the number, the Immatriculare and the register. So there is no escape, yeah, for an update. Nothing will be registered anymore unless that you update. It's a national operation, and the register took measures to force companies to execute. So when you do that, you need an action plan for business. It's not just hop, hop, hurry, hurry. No, no. First, you have to audit your current activities. Companies should undertake a comprehensive audit of their current activities and corresponding national codes. Meaning, when you no longer conduct your primary or execute your primary code, the law says that you should update it with a new code that is in relation, correspondence, one-to-one with your current activities. Yeah? Then identify required changes. So determine with tables which new codes apply to the business activities and plan for the necessary amendment documents. So you have to replace the old codes by new ones, add some codes, change some codes, and so on. Then notify relevant authorities. Once that you did that, you need to inform the trade register and they will register. But after this, like you have to go to your bank with the new Certificate Immatriculare and so on. So you need to register and to inform all the relevant authorities and organizations that are legally using or that are having the obligation to put the actualization of the excuse me, company documents. Now, let's look at a timeline for implementation. Okay, first of all, immediate review. So begin audits and review as soon as possible. This gives you some time for adjustment. Then, documentation update. Aim to finalize all documentation changes well before the deadlines. You need to have an AGA. We will not make a distinction between CRLE, AGOA, AGEA, and so on. No. We just call it shareholder meeting. So you need to have a shareholder meeting in order to agree on the new codes. So you prepared in your previous plan. Then the shareholders will agree, and this will be written down in a decision on the Caen codes taken by the shareholders at an AGA, so at a general meeting of the shareholders, and then you can register it. Also, monitor changes, so keep the pulse on the further developments and clarifications that will come from the regulatory bodies on the NACE codes revisions. Because also for the register, we experienced already some problems with some codes where they, it's called nota explicativa, where themselves had a problem with interpretation of codes. Then some practical tips. In order to make life easy for the register, reject all current codes in the AGA. Say all these are void, then focus only on the current activities and limit the number of codes. We'll limit the number of codes because there is, after this there will be more changes. So in order to gain time and not having to do everything at once. It doesn't make sense to put activity codes of 2 papers. No, limit yourself to 1, 2, 3, 4 codes or 5 codes, and that's it. And your real activity should be your primary code. So not all activities have to be carried in the office. Also very important, like if you live in an apartment, in order to avoid the signature of all neighbors. So if you register a Caen code and you say we will not carry these activities in the office, but we will carry them outside of the office, it's also possible to do that when you do the new codes. Then, I already told you, limit to 4 or 5 codes maximum. Yeah, like this you are armed for the next step. So basically after this, I want to ask you, are you ready for Caen Revision 3? And what can be my role, or the role of my team? Well, we have experience in commercial law. Yeah? We have a proven track record since 20 years in corporate law, and we are familiar, of course, with NACE codes and the new Revision 3. We have a reputation, we have positive reviews and a strong reputation in the business community, thanks to our clients in our business centers and our 20 years presence in Romania. And availability, we can provide timely support and guidance throughout the transition process. So again, are you ready? We are ready to help you. So please contact us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us today. Here are my contact data, and do not forget to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my vlog on Romania. Thank you very much, and see you in the next presentation.